between the sunshine, the palm trees, the colors around the track, iconic corners, turn one, fountain, obviously the hairpin, celebrating a victory. What is it about Long Beach that has stood the test of time?
I think it's all of those things, but I think it's the event. You know, so many races that we go to, you know, we look at how do we make this an event that's a 3-day weekend, right? That people want to come to. And I think that, you know, our calendar is slowly getting to that point for every track that we go to. But Long Beach from the beginning has been a 3-day kind of festival, right? And there's always so much going on from way back in the day when, you know, I remember seeing like the celebrity races that happened there, right? And so it's just always been an event that has had a huge energy around it. It's obviously a great time of year, weather-wise, to be in Southern California. And then, like any street race that we go to, Long Beach isn't alone in this, but you just have that, the vibe of the city, right? You've got all the cool restaurants and bars and hotels that are all within a walking distance of the track. So people are just in a different state of mind, I think, when they come there. And then on top of that, you just have an incredibly knowledgeable fan base, because a lot of them have been going for a lot of
some 50 years.
Some 50 years, right? And so for me, it really is the crown jewel event for IndyCar in my mind outside the 500.
I was going to say, obviously the 500, there are a lot of great events, but I mean, Long Beach is right there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a firm number 2, right behind, you know, obviously the big one.
To your point, think of I'm going to list some of the names that have won there, right? Mario, Michael, Al Jr., King of the Beach, Danny Sullivan, Zanardi, Montoya, Paul Tracy, Bourdais. You happen to be a 2-time winner there. That's an elite club there, man.
What's cool about it for me is obviously all of the history that we've kind of discussed and why that event is special, but also for me being from California, right? Like, okay, I'm from Northern California, and technically, you know, Laguna is more of a home race for me, but like so many friends and family show up for Long Beach and come out and support me and the team and what we're doing. And while, you know, all of the Americans, technically, all of the races that we do, minus Toronto, are home events, like the states that you're from are a little bit more special. So anytime that, you know, for me, I'm lucky, I get Thermal, I get Long Beach, and I get Laguna. Anytime I'm on the West Coast, like you have that little bit extra energy and incentive, and that's why for me to be able to win there twice is pretty awesome.
So that's not a cliche. You being from California, that would help me really cool?
I think so, yeah, 100%. You know, I mean, winning in Mid-Ohio is also cool, but like it's not
understood.
California.
Yeah, understood. Speaking of your 2 wins, back-to-back, 18 and 19, I would argue 2 more dominating performances. I mean, good luck trying to find some. That was really, you guys were on a roll those 2 years.
Yeah, it was, you know, I think in 17 we were in a really good spot as well, myself and Ryan, and we actually both had engine failures. And James won that year, and from that point forward, like there was such a internal motivation in the team, because we knew our cars were awesome. There was like, we have to find a way to like get the job done at Long Beach, just because we know that with this package and that tire and everything that was existing at that time, like we knew we had it dialed. And so it was really cool when you have that kind of, you stumble upon those windows of time and performance to be able to execute and get it done like we were able to. And obviously, you know, that's continued for Andretti. Colton's won there in dominant ways from like 17th, I think he won in 2020 or 2021. So Kyle Kirkwood won there. So, I mean, those cars are pretty awesome around Long Beach, and so it's fun as a driver to be able to be in that equipment and to go out there and do it.
I mean, there aren't too many times when you have a 20-second lead in a race. I mean, you look in the rearview mirror and there's nobody.
There was no one. Yeah, it's great for me. Terrible for the viewer, I would imagine. But days like those, you're out there just smiling and chilling.
The beauty of it is it's still Long Beach. People are having a blast out there.
Sure.
So people there, that's awesome.
100%.
You know you're going to have a good weekend at Long Beach if what?
So Long Beach, the lap time is made. It's, you know, a lot of tracks that we go to, there's quite a few corners where there's compromises, right? Like you don't want to be too fast in because it'll hurt your exit or it'll hurt the preparation for the next corner. Long Beach is about two things. You have to have a huge amount of confidence, like on the brakes and entry speed, because yes, there's a very long straight in the sense that out of the hairpin to turn 1 is long, but the hairpin you can't do anything. So it's not like you can charge too much into turn 11. So it's about entry speed, and then it's also about having a car that's pretty compliant over bumps and curbs and that sort of thing. So, you know, if you go into practice 1 and you immediately feel like you can really challenge the braking depth, then I feel like you're in a pretty good spot.
A couple of years ago, we have video of you blindfolded,
Yes.
going through the gears and everything, spot on, like to the second.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of knowledge you need to have at a place like Long Beach or anywhere you go to, or is it?
I mean, as cool as that video is, I think all 26 of my competitors, any track could do that.
Could do the same thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, I'd like to say, oh yeah, that's the
a
reason.
brilliant
but,
Rossi
right,
move.
No,
Yeah.
I think you know, we've all gotten to this point by a huge amount of repetitions, and you know, I think most professional race car drivers can learn and memorize a track to a pretty high level precision within like 5 or 10 laps. So I wouldn't be surprised if they could all do it.
So what's the difference between that and obviously there's 27 entries? I mean, first the
And just
27,
doing it?
is it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Again, it comes down to the confidence. You know, street courses are hugely punishing, just because the margin for error is so small. And I think that because it rewards a track that is a lot about kind of the entry of the corner and the high speed phase of the corner, you just have to have a huge amount of commitment. You know, there's other places where you can maybe sacrifice a little bit on the entry and not take as much risk, but then like you're gaining the time back coming out of the corner, whereas Long Beach, there's not really the opportunity to do that.
ECR is having a really good start to the season. Do you allow yourself to think about, hey, what it might be like to win the 50th edition of Long Beach?
To a lot of people's surprise, maybe I actually have.
Yeah.
You know, I think that what we have learned as a group over the past really 2.5 months since the first test in Sebring has just been an exponential growth in knowledge and understanding of the car that we have and what I need from it and how we achieve that. And so while Long Beach historically maybe hasn't been great for the team on paper, I think we're going there with a lot of optimism, and I think we can do something pretty awesome if we, you know, play our cards right. You know, it's not going to be easy. There's obviously, it's not just Andretti anymore. You know, Ganassi's going to be strong, Penske's going to be strong, Shank's going to be strong. Felix was on pole there last year. McLaren will be strong. So it's not just beating 3 cars anymore, but I do think that we're definitely going to have a step up in performance compared to years past.
It's a special year for sure, and it wouldn't hurt to see a Californian in
It
victory
wouldn't.
lane.
Yeah, not Colton. No.
Just throw,
Not that California.
non-Colton division.
A non-Colton Californian. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
you.
Appreciate it.